Chapter 207, Untitled. There was such a thing. Sanshi was surprised. He said thoughtfully, "That's true. I'm indeed at the age to consider marriage. If it weren't for the old lady at home stopping me, I would have gotten married 2 years ago." In this world, the age of marriage was usually 18 years old. Those who got married earlier would get married at the age of 15 or 16. People of his age were considered late to be married. Yes, the marriage contract has already been drafted. Bai Shaokan took out an exquisite piece of paper from her storage bag and handed it to Sanshi. Sanshi saw the name on it. San Jijian, Bai Shaokan. Jijian was his name, and she was his nickname. As he felt that the word Jijian sounded strange, coupled with his habits in his previous life, he usually liked to call himself Sanshi. The two parties were his father, Sanwan, and the other party's father. He looked at the time again. It was a week before the disaster struck. Sanshi was silent. If nothing unexpected happened, he would have abided by his parents' orders and married Bai Shaokan and become a rich man. He saw what Sanwan had secretly done for him. Although the Bai family was not a big family. However, the Bai family had some power. If he married into Bai Shaokan's family, the rest of his life would not be too bad. As long as he didn't mess around, it shouldn't be a problem for him to be rich for the rest of his life. This old fellow, we've been separated for so long. It's such a strange feeling when he suddenly shows me some fatherly love. Sanshi's eyes moistened. To Sanwan, this was probably what a father should do. However, to Sanshi, it was still kinship. It made him a little forlorn. Although Sanwan used to be very afraid of the main branch of the Song family and had let his mother down, but he could understand Sanwan's difficulties. In a big family like the Song family, it was impossible for them to do things as recklessly as he did now. They had too many things to consider. Bai Shaokan also cried when she saw her father's name. She stroked the words with her slender hand. "Father, mother, you will never get to see Shaokan get married." Sanshi took the marriage contract. Although this is only a draft marriage contract, I can still accept it. "Are you willing to let me be your bride?" Bai Shaokan asked shyly. She had already decided that she had to rely on Sanshi. If she did not speak out, she could only be a ghost maid forever. What's there to be unwilling about? I don't hate you either. Just treat it as fulfilling the wishes of the elders on both sides. Sanshi smiled. Since the old fellow had arranged a marriage for him, it was only right for him to accept it. But I'm a ghost. Bai Shaokan's expression darkened. Humans and ghosts had different cultivation paths, but in the end, nothing good would come out of the union. So what? We're all cultivators. I don't care if you're human, ghost, demon, immortal, or Buddha. The important thing is that you are willing to cultivate seriously. He is a more open-minded person. After all, he had died so many times. What was there not to be open-minded about? Thank you. Bai Shaokan was really touched this time. A living person would avoid her existence, let alone marry her. We're already on the same side. There's no need to thank me. Sanshi shook his head. You're only paid special attention to me because of the engagement, right? Yes. You know that we women always stand by our man before we get married. Well, secretly understand our partner first. Bai Shaokan nodded shyly. When I heard that you're related to the Yao Moon Palace, a large cultivation sect, I originally thought that we wouldn't interact again. I didn't expect you to actually be pretending and even having a relationship with the blood-robed old ghost. When you came to save me, I deduced that you weren't the blood-robed old ghost. You're smart. Sanshi praised her. To be able to deduce so much from such small clues. Even if Bai Shaokan did not meet him, she should be able to go far on the path of cultivation. I can't compare to young master. Bai Shaokan said humbly. I think there's no time like the present. Let's get married today. You won't mind if no one celebrates. Sanshi grabbed Bai Shaokan's hand with a wicked smile. The latter said bashfully, my family members have all been destroyed, and most of young master's family members have died. We just have to remember this ceremony ourselves. Understood. Sanshi carried Bai Shaokan and walked into the cave abode. He chuckled. It's been a long time since I've touched a woman. When Bai Shaokan heard this, she recalled that Sanshi often visited brothels, but she did not care much about it. In this world, there were too many sons of big families who did such things. Even her father often went there. As long as Sanshi did not let her down, she would turn a blind eye to this matter. Of course, she still had to have an attitude. Young master, you have to dote on me more in the future. However, I'm a female ghost. I don't know if it'll hurt you. Her. It's just some young energy. There was a period of time when I was fine being sucked dry by another woman every day. Sanshi chuckled. Bai Shaoqian said sourly, that woman from the brothel called Liu Ruxu. Are you jealous? No. I'm just envious that she met you first, young master. I think you're jealous. Sanshi smiled teasingly. She's the first woman I've fallen in love with. You're the first female ghost I've slept with. Dad guy. Bai Shaoqian punched Sanshi, embarrassed and angry. I could be worse. Sanshi subconsciously took off his clothes and realized that Bai Shaoqian was in a special state. She had no physical clothes at all. The latter understood his intentions. She lowered her head and took off her clothes herself. Sanshi hugged Bai Shaoqian's cold body and kissed her. Others don't dare to come into contact with you ghosts. But since my Yan is so overtly domineering, I'm not afraid. With that, he focused on his work. Sanshi experienced a unique feeling. After it ended, he looked at the blushing Bai Shaoqian and returned to talking about business. You were taken in as a disciple by that old bastard. Yes, Elder One did take me in as a disciple. Unfortunately, he has ulterior motives and wanted to nurture me to become stronger before selling me. Bai Shaoqian was a little angry. Then you should have an identity token, right? Take it out and it'll transfer some contribution points to you. Sanshi activated Bai Shaoqian's token and transferred 100,000 contribution points to her. Young master, this is too much. It's very difficult for even inner sect disciples to have so many contribution points. Bai Shaoqian was shocked. I have a pile of contribution points that I can't use up anyways. Help me use some. If you want to exchange for anything, exchange it for yourself. Sanshi chuckled. Also, I'll get Lu Ju to arrange a better teacher for you. You won't be cultivating that old bastard anymore. Young master, you're too good to me. Bai Shaoqian said happily. Since I have these resources, it would be a waste not to use them. Sanshi shrugged and closed the cave abode. Choose a room to cultivate in. Yet, sure. Bai Shaoqian smiled and walked into a room, feeling exceptionally happy. From today onwards, she had a home and was no longer a lonely ghost. Sanshi came to the center of the cave abode and stabbed the golden spear into the ground, preparing to begin refining the numinous artifacts. Blood-robed elder. Lucius voice came from outside. Sanshi frowned and walked out. When he saw Lu Yoayu following behind, he said, Sect Master, what's the matter? I'm preparing to enter seclusion to refine the golden dragon spear. You don't want what you initially had. Lu Ju took out a blood-colored belt and storage ring and threw them to Sanshi. I've asked for most of the things back for you. The spirit tea is rather special. It's planted on the spirit soul and some tender tea has already grown. It's a little wasteful to dig it out now. I'll get Yoayu to continue taking care of it. I'll give it to you when the tea leaves mature in a few years. How about it? Oh, Miss Yoayu has become a tea picker. Sanshi teased. You said my mouth is full, but I don't think you're any better. Lu Yoayu snorted. All right, I won't talk to you anymore then. Sanshi decisively stopped, otherwise, he would have to argue with this woman again. I'll accept it. I'll also accept the sect master's high regard. Sanshi nodded at Lu Ju. This person had asked for most of his things back so quickly. He agreed with his intentions. We have no choice but to hurry up. In just a short while, the blood-robed elder actually went to the spirit land to cause trouble again. Lu Ju commented helplessly. It was just that there was a reason for this. Sect master, don't worry. Usually, if there's nothing, I won't act rashly. Sanshi grinned. No one knew if he was telling the truth. Since Elder Blood Robes isn't afraid of trouble, we have a matter that we need your help with. Lu Ju bluntly stated his request. I knew it wouldn't be so easy to get my stuff back. Tell me, what is it and what time? Sanshi agreed helplessly. He raised his hand and pointed at the blood-colored belt. After checking it and confirming that there was no problem, the latter turned into a blood-colored light and tied itself around his waist. To participate in a conference and represent our Heavenly Ghost sect, it will be held in half a year's time. Lu Ju explained the situation.